What is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode where today we're going to be looking at BLACKPINK with Shutdown. Now, I really did not anticipate another video from BLACKPINK, so I'm a little bit in the dark here about why this video even exists. Maybe you can throw some info down in the info below. I don't know why this wasn't really marketed heavy, like not even me following them, you know, like I follow all of them on Instagram. I did not even pick up that another MV was going to come out. Hey, maybe that's me. Maybe this is not going to be a too crazy video, but there's one way to find out, and that is actually by watching it. I already clicked play. Let's see what it's all about. It sounds a bit like Rihanna. And like if you close your eyes, it sounds like Rihanna. This, hey yo, this part. Okay, before we actually start with the song, so we're 17 seconds in, but the first thing I notice is like we have this Lamborghini, you know, it's a big car, it's a beautiful car, it's expensive, it's a hypercar, okay? But why are they filming it in a studio? It cheapens out the car completely. And another thing that I just don't like about this entire studio is that even though it's an LED wall that is basically in a 90-degree format, you know, like a box format, why is it black here? Like it destroys that seamless look. It's a really strange choice here. I'm not sure why they did it, but maybe it will come out in the future, in the further part of the MV. In what other video did we see this tank? I totally forgot it. Kill This Love? It could have been. Maybe I'm wrong. Nice. So again, I just want to point it out, if you start filmmaking or anything like that, when it comes to adding sound effects to make a video more alive, it really does the difference. Like here, if you look at the shutters going down, listen to it. You can clearly hear this, all the metal pieces hitting each other because that's how the shutter system works. It makes the video so much more flamboyant. I like that. That is really clever, and I'm actually happy they included it. The one thing I do notice is that her skin tones here are really, really warm. Maybe this is the tone of the entire video, or maybe I'll pick it up later as well. Let's see if they play around with the skin tones. Okay, so generally it's quite a warm video. Really cool. I think them adding those sound effects really makes a difference between making this video boring or very cool. In this case, quite cool. Hold up, what is actually going on in the back there? Can we pause it on the... Oh yeah, this is actually a really good spot. The same element with that LED wall, it destroys the illusion because of that black line we saw in the middle, because you can see, okay, something is there that is destroying that image, okay? There is nothing portrayed, it's pure blackness. The problem with this shot is that they want to make it look seamless, in other words, infinite to the background. But if you look closely, you can see that the money stops dropping, especially on this line here, on the horizontal line. That means that that is basically where the studio ends. They could have maybe just added a bit more CGI money in the background to make it even look longer than what it is. Again, for now, it really seems as if everything is filmed in a studio, and it makes everything look much more smaller than what it is. I understand that they're trying to make things look bigger, you know, with the LED walls, you know, adding a world to it, or here in this case with all the white. It is okay, you know, it's really smart, but then you also have to make sure that you perform it 100%ly in all its glory, you know, rather than just thinking, okay, we're done, just continue it, you know, add some CGI money in the background just to make it look more continuous. Man, they really got Lamborghinis rolling here. Beautiful shots though. I really love the colors. I think they stand out really rich. The colors are beautiful. The red especially, the blue, the green. Everyone is wearing beautiful colors. The one thing I don't get though is that why do we not have a little bit more color in the background? Maybe a little bit more contrast, like a little bit more shadow, because there's a lot of forms going on in the background, but they get lost a little bit because everything is just white, and the white lighting also doesn't really help here. Actually, there it looks really good. Let's go back to it for a second. Like, for example, here, when the lights go out, I think it looks really cool. I think it looks fantastic. fantastic, especially because you can see all those depths, the shapes and everything. And I love shapes. I love geometry, I think that is. I think it's fantastic. But here, when the lights go on again, it just disappears. I'm actually amazed though. So this is the first Blackpink video where they filmed the entire chorus with them dancing in one shot, in one location. The video does not jump around from A to B to C to D. I really like that. I think this is one of the first videos where I can say it is actually focused, you know, and you can pay attention to the entire choreography and everything that's happening. I still think it's bland though, maybe because the location is quite bland, but I'm happy that they went with this route. Hold up, was the fire pink? Oh, hold up. That is so cool. That little detail, mwah. Whoever thought of that, good job. I wonder if that is done with color correction afterwards or if they use some sort of chemical to make the fire pink, because that is possible. I like this set a lot. I think Lisa here really is getting a beautiful set to play around with the rain, with the lights. I think so far this is my favorite set of the video, purely because it just looks very beautiful and has a lot of elements to it. The one thing I just don't like too much as well about this video is that there are just a lot of lights. Like, lights are everywhere. I get they need to illuminate her, but it's a lot, you know, it's a lot going on. And again, it makes the entire room look so much smaller than what it is. Maybe they could have put the lights upwards rather than downwards. In other words, pointing down rather than up. They maybe should have played around with it because they still want to film that rainfall behind her. But it's, how do I say it? Again, it makes everything look a little bit more tighter than what it could have been looking like if they played a little bit more with their elements. Again, really cool shot. I think what they're doing here with the lights and everything is fantastic, but you can clearly see that this car is static. The hair does not move. When you drive a Lambo, your hair does not stand stuck like that. It moves, you know, there's wind, and especially they want to create that idea of speed. Your hair is going to move, so why did they not just add a ventilator? I know I'm really just picking this video apart, but I want to, because why is it so different from Pink Venom? You know, what is going on here? Oh, that was a really bad choice, by the way. This part, one sec. So basically here, they still make it look as if it's driving quick. And I like the registration plate with Catch Me. But why show the floor? You know the car is not moving. And on top of that, the lights are off. You know, the xenon lights or LED lights right now, they're not on. So why? What is going on here? You know, be consistent, but make it look good as well. But this just doesn't do it for me. This just looks like a Lambo is sitting somewhere and we're just going to film around it. For me, this doesn't give me that Blackpink vibe, especially with them being able to afford much more than just this. And then you have sets like this where I'm like, man, it looks fantastic. Okay, what is this car? Isn't it the Urus? If not mistaken, I think it's the Urus. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I just think when you are so high up the ladder, especially when it comes to making music, you should have that car move at least in a real location. I know it's really hard to get pink lights everywhere, but this just looks crap. In my opinion, this looks very cheap. This is something you do when you want to look as if you're the #1, you know, star in the world. But Blackpink is like the #1 girl group in the world. So this is very questionable for me. What do you guys think? Do you think it's cool? Do you think it's not cool? It's kind of funny though. I used to work on car congresses as well. Basically, I would add all lighting and everything in cars so that people, especially like media teams, could come by and film it properly. I really think it's interesting, but they could have hit those lights a little bit better. I mean, I know because I could have done it as well, and it's always possible to hide the lights as much as possible without being them shown on the camera. Finally, a ending of Blackpink where it doesn't go completely offbeat. This is actually nice. I think this was a really hard video for Blackpink to make because it seems like they really went out of their comfort zone to try something else. And I must say, I'm happy that they did. This wasn't their best video. This wasn't the most, breathtaking song. But I'm happy that they're focusing on trying to be a little bit better when it comes to making MVs and also to be a little bit more coherent when it comes to fixing everything. In other words, editing everything in post, because here I just feel like, you know what, they did a much cleaner job than Pink Venom. It didn't jump around from A, B, C, and then all of a sudden to Z. It just stayed clean. The sets were easy to follow, and you could really focus on the girls rather than focusing on everything that is not so important for the MV, but much more important for the girls, in this case, Blackpink. So I am actually quite happy with the choice they went with, and I just want to say hats off to you guys. And of course, girls, everyone who was in the teams to work around on this video, I think this is a much cleaner job. Yeah, like I say, it's not breathtaking, but it does the job. But guys, my question to you, of course, now is, what do you think of this video? What do you think of Blackpink and Shutdown? Do you think it's worth watching it again? Do you think it's not worth watching it? Do you think it's boring? Do you think it's very different? Do you think it's the same as the rest? Again, for me, it is a really enjoyable video. Of course, there are a lot of issues with it, but at least it is much more easier to follow than any of their past videos. But for now, guys, that is all the time I've got for this MV. If you did enjoy, make sure you hit that like button, make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you on the next video. I hope you enjoyed the premiere, and I'll see you then.